U.S. businesses' optimism in China falls to record low. Survey shows, and U.S. companies see record low profits in China amid geopolitical tensions and slow growth, report says. U.S. Congress House approves legislation to restrict tax credits for EVs using Chinese battery technology. European Commission rejects Chinese EV price floor offer as tariff vote looms. USPS long-awaited new mail truck makes its debut to rave reviews from carriers. It took 50,000 gallons of water to put out Tesla's semi-fire in California, U.S. agency says. China directs its carmakers not to make auto-related investments in India.
Ford commits to manual and V8s for 2025 Mustang and beyond despite rivals like Dodge and BMW pulling back. A stock Toyota Prius just drove across America averaging 93 mpg, setting a Guinness World Record. Lotus Electra will start at $229,000 thanks to 100% tariffs on Chinese EVs.
WeWork founders' climate firm refunds crypto token holders after failed launch, reported by Forbes. Coinbase version of wrapped Bitcoin, CBBTC, goes live as Coinbase drives $18 billion Bitcoin pool towards DeFi with new BTC variant. Indonesian crypto exchange Indodax shuts down after suspected $22 million hack. Apple brings activation lock to iPhone parts with iOS 18. Google Wallet will let you make digital IDs with U.S. passports. 3 more state IDs coming. Microsoft eyes new Windows security layer to prevent CrowdStrike repeat. Tony Hawk says he has been talking to Activision ahead of the Pro Skater 25th anniversary. 10 years after it was pulled offline, viral mobile game Flappy Bird is coming back. Ubisoft stock tanks to 10-year low after lukewarm Star Wars Outlaws launch. Unity has canceled its controversial runtime fee. PS5 system update adds Welcome Hub, Party Share, personalized 3D audio profiles, adaptive controller charging, and more. Consumer watchdogs call for EU action on in-game digital money.
Trump campaign trolls Taylor Swift with Eras-inspired merchandise. MAGA pastor claims Kamala Harris deployed witchcraft in Trump debate. Ben and Jerry's co-founders unveil Kamala Harris ice cream flavor. Democrats who urged Biden to exit race say Harris is exceeding expectations. White House will smell like curry. Trump ally Laura Loomer's racist comment on Kamala Harris's potential victory sparks outrage. Trump defends debate performance and calls for ending tax on overtime.
Trump rules out another debate against Harris as her campaign announces $47 million haul in hours afterward. Harris challenges Trump to debate again as she rallies in North Carolina. Republican Karl Rove says Trump got crushed by a woman he called dumb as a rock during train wreck debate. Democrats who urged Biden to exit race say Harris is exceeding expectations.
SEC signals Ethereum is not a security in settlement with eToro. eToro reaches $1.5 million SEC settlement, agrees to stop trading most cryptocurrencies. UK court rules Tether as property in first English law post-trial crypto ruling. Trump to launch World Liberty Financial crypto platform on Monday, as Trump plans to launch his son's crypto business on Monday, 50 days before Election Day.
Russia now using thermite-spewing Dragon drones to torch Ukrainian positions. 1 week ago it has been reported as Ukraine's Dragon drones rain molten metal on Russian positions, in latest terrifying battlefield innovation. Arctic Circle airports closed after suspected Ukrainian drone attacks. Release secret list of alleged Nazi war criminals in Canada, say Polish and Ukrainian groups. 1 week ago, Ottawa warned release of names of Nazi war criminals who settled in Canada could help Russia.
Erdogan says Crimea must return to Ukraine for just end to war. Turkish-operated vessel carrying grain hit by Russian missile in Black Sea, as grain ship hit by Russians in Black Sea was in Romanian economic zone, claimed in the media. In the U.S., Israeli freight forwarder pleads guilty to violating export restrictions imposed on Russia.
Georgia judge dismisses 2 criminal counts against Trump in election interference case. Homeland Security designates next January 6th as a national special security event. AI chatbot gets conspiracy theorists to question their convictions.
Iranian cyber group, oil rig, targets Iraqi government in sophisticated malware attack, and reportedly, charges coming in alleged Iranian hack and leak attack on Trump campaign. New Android malware, Agina, banker, steals financial data and bypasses 2FA via Telegram. A new Vo1D malware infects 1.3 million Android-based TV boxes worldwide. Spotify looks to pay video creators to put shows on platform. Elon Musk calls Australian government fascists over misinformation law. 3 days ago it has been announced as Australia to set minimum age for children using social media. Telegram starts cooperation with French police, claimed by the media.
To BRICS, 34 countries have expressed desire to join, announced Putin. TASS comments as, IMF supports Turkey's decision to join BRICS, by the fund representative. China welcomes more Global South partners to join BRICS, announced by senior Chinese official.
Zelensky urges the West to allow long-range strikes without distance limits. 2 days ago, The Times reported as, U.S. could allow Ukraine to fire missiles into Russia within weeks. Peace only way out of wars in Gaza and Ukraine, Chinese defense chief says, as China defense minister calls for negotiation to solve Ukraine, Gaza conflicts. Advisor to Indian PM will tell Putin about closed meeting between Indian PM and Zelensky, and India's PM advisor says never conveyed any statements from Zelensky to Putin, announced by Kremlin.
Finland's territory not to be used to attacks against Russia, announces General Staff, as Finland denies Russian media claims of drone attack from Finnish territory. Leaked contracts reveal Kazakh and Russian scheme to service Su-30SM aircraft with French equipment. Russia discharges 45 Indians fighting in its army.
Putin warns, Ukraine's use of long-range arms will put NATO at war with Russia. 6 days ago, U.S. says deep strikes in Russia no game changer after Zelensky plea. NATO making plans of sending its troops to Ukraine, says Russian Deputy Defense Minister, where China and Russia chide West at annual security forum in Beijing. U.S. delays solution to Ukrainian conflict, causes destabilization in Europe, claims North Korea.
The Palestinian economy is in free fall and will require billions to rebuild, the UN says. IDF declares Hamas's Rafah brigade defeated. No active cross-border tunnels found. IDF investigates claim Jewish Chronicle published stories based on fabricated intelligence, of which 1 week ago, it had been reported as Sinwar's secret plan to smuggle hostages to Iran. A landslide in a remote part of Greenland caused a 200-meter, 650-foot, mega tsunami that sloshed back and forth across a fjord for 9 days, generating vibrations throughout Earth according to a new study. Amazon rainforest becomes Earth's largest greenhouse gas emitter.
Monkeypox deaths rise by 107 in a week, as Africa's CDC calls the toll unacceptable. Dam collapse in Nigeria sweeps deadly reptiles into flooded communities. Uptick in drug overdose rates widely reported in Colombia, especially among young women.
Exposure to air pollution during pregnancy increases postpartum depression risk for at least 3 years, study finds. Study claims for Afghanistan veterans, anger, not PTSD, is the main problem. High doses of ADHD drugs linked to a greater risk of psychosis.
Reports claim Israeli troops raided Iran's IRGC weapons facility in Syria, took equipment and documents. The 6 Canadian terror plots police have foiled since October 7. U.S. Navy SEAL unit that killed bin Laden trains for Chinese invasion of Taiwan. EU's first Sustainable Investment Facilitation Agreement enters into force with Angola on green energy, agri-food value chains, digital innovation, fisheries, logistics, and critical raw materials. U.S. supports 2 permanent UN Security Council seats for Africa. Sweden to pay immigrants up to $34,000 to go back to home country. Lukashenko says Belarus is ready to admit more foreigners for permanent residence. EU court says Hungary broke competition rules by fixing food prices. IMF resumes Article 4 consultations with Russia as economy stabilizing, announced by fund official, and Reuters reports that 9 European countries protest against IMF resuming missions to Russia. Swiss authorities freeze $310 million of Adani Group for money laundering, securities forgery investigation, claimed in a report, and Adani rejects short seller Hindenburg's claims of $310 million fund freeze in Swiss banks.
Scientists discover crude oil decimates sea otter buoyancy. Japan shows first commercial fin whale catch in 48 years. In Brazil, return of daylight saving time is a real possibility and only depends on an ONS study, says Minister of Mines and Energy.
UK Parliament moves to recognize Bitcoin and crypto as personal property. Bitcoin miners dump $1.7 billion worth of BTC as rising mining difficulty and weak price action take their toll. Russia plans full-scale digital ruble operations in July 2025. White House extracts voluntary commitments from AI vendors to combat deepfake nudes. Salesforce unleashes an army of artificial intelligence bots with industry's AI. The Guardian comments as, UK has decided to allow Ukraine to use Storm Shadow missiles in long-range strikes on Russia. Starmer tells Putin Russia started Ukraine war and can end at any time. Poland hosts Blinken, joins calls to lift weapons restrictions on Ukraine, as Polish leaders urge Blinken to lift limits on Ukraine's use of long-range weapons. Poland has zero desire to defend Ukraine, top Polish diplomat says in a conversation with pranksters.
Young Korean women are more educated, less employed than men, OECD finds. Japan dropped subsidy plan to draw women to rural areas upon marriage. In Brazil, a court decreed former husband will have to pay alimony for dog after breakup.
Korea's LIG Next won Iraq set for $2.6 billion deal on MSAM missile system. Italy tests new generation midget submarines of Qatar. U.S. grants Egypt $1.3 billion in military aid, overriding rights conditions.
Obesity drug black market thrives online in South Korea. 1 year ago, it has been reported as nutraceuticals growth in South Korea driven by body fat reduction, healthy aging needs. Reportedly, weight loss drug Wegovy coming to Korea in October 2024. In the UK, ban on junk food ads before 9 p.m. to come into force next year, in bid to tackle childhood obesity. IG Nobel Prize goes to scientists who discovered breathing mammals.
After more than a century, the Campbell's Company drops soup from its name. Boeing machinists vote to strike after 95% reject contract with a 25% pay increase. Kevin Hart's ambitious vegan restaurant chain, Hart House, suddenly closed all locations overnight. In the U.S., 1 out of 5 borrowers get student loan forgiveness or $0 payments under Biden programs. USA's interest payments on the national debt top $1 trillion as deficit swells. ECB cuts interest rate to 3.5% and warns of weak Eurozone growth. UNICEF shocked by unimaginable horror of Malaysia mass child abuse. Recently it has been announced by Inspector General of Police as 402 rescued victims from welfare homes are children of GISB, Global Ikhwan Services and business members. More than 260 women sexually assaulted during Congo prison break, UN report shows. Harvey Weinstein indicted again in New York after conviction overturned.
Mexico will amend its constitution this weekend to require all judges to be elected. In Mexico, Sinaloa governor cancels September 15th, the day for independence of Mexico, due to violence in the state. Colombian President Petro slammed for branding women journalists dolls of the mafia. For $1,000 to low Earth orbit, South Korea's reusable rocket plan targets SpaceX's dominance. FCC chair encourages satellite internet competition. Hint Starlink is a monopoly. A billionaire and an engineer conduct first private spacewalk in SpaceX mission. Belarusian Defense Ministry suspects Pokemon Go game of gathering intelligence on the country's military bases. UK terror police aid investigation into death of Ukraine podcaster. Russia puts 6 foreign journalists on wanted list for illegally crossing border.
South Korean soccer player Son Jun-ho says, Chinese authorities forced match-fixing confession out of him. British policing minister's bag stolen at a police conference in Warwickshire. TIFF, Toronto International Film Festival halts Russians at war documentary screening, after threats to safety.
J.P. Morgan, Bank of America to crack down on long hours after death of Leo Lakinas, who worked 100 hours per week, and J.P. Morgan Chase caps bankers' week at 80 hours. Verizon to eliminate almost 5,000 employees in nearly $2 billion cost-cutting move. PwC laying off 1,800 employees as it plans restructuring.
OpenAI launches new AI model family O1 claiming PhD-level performance. As OpenAI announces a new AI model code-named Strawberry that solves difficult problems step by step. Oracle will use 3 small nuclear reactors to power new 1 gigawatt AI data center. Google's Gemini Live is now free for all Android users.
One more drop in the AI ocean. Upstage/Solar Pro Preview Instruct. Solar Pro Preview, an advanced large language model, LLM, with 22 billion parameters designed to fit into a single GPU. Solar Pro Preview shows superior performance compared to LLMs with less than 30 billion parameters and delivers performance comparable to models over 3 times its size, such as Llama 3.1 with 70 billion parameters. Developed using an enhanced version of previous depth upscaling method, which scales a Phi 3 medium model with 14 billion parameters to 22 billion parameters, intended to run on a GPU with 80 gigabytes of VRAM.
CISA's cybersecurity alerts and advisories. CISA releases analysis of FY23 risk and vulnerability assessments. CISA releases 25 industrial control systems advisories. Adobe releases security updates for multiple products. Cisco releases security updates for iOS XR software. Meta fed its AI on almost everything you've posted publicly since 2007. Google's AI model faces probe over data use in EU, as Ireland's watchdog launches inquiry into Google's AI data practices in Europe. AI-generated junk science is flooding Google Scholar, study claims.
Chinese chip making shows progress with new EUV patent from domestic lithography champion. Summit supercomputer set to be retired in November 2024. It was the world's most powerful back in 2018 through 19. Google's ad tech empire may be $95 billion and too big to sell, analysts warn Department of Justice.
Steam's hottest games. Global top-selling and top-played games across Steam. From the top 100 products by revenue for Tuesday, September 3, 2024 to Tuesday, September 10, 2024. Warhammer 40,000, Space Marine 2, Counter-Strike 2, Black Myth, Wukong, NBA 2K25, PUBG, Battlegrounds.
Apple App Store for iPhone, top paid games from 13. September 2024. Minecraft. Heads up, Papa's Freezeria to go. Balloons TD6. Plague Incorporated Geometry Dash.
Top paid Android games on Google Play US for 13 September 2024. Minecraft,
Yan2D,
Balloons TD6, Geometry Dash, Stardew Valley, Slay the Spire.
Nintendo US Digital Bestsellers from 13. September 2024. Hogwarts Legacy, Sid Meier's Civilization 6, Minecraft, Stardew Valley, Among Us, Marvel vs. Capcom Fighting Collection, Arcade Classics, Nickelodeon All-Star Brawl, NBA 2K24 Kobe Bryant Edition.
From the Netflix Global Top 10 list of September 2nd to September 8th, 2024. Weekly top lists of the most watched TV in English. The Perfect Couple, limited series. Worst Ex Ever, Season 1. Cows. Emily in Paris, Season 4. Weekly top lists of the most viewed TV, non-English. Breathless, Season 1. The Accident, Season 1. Love Next Door, limited series. IC-814, The Kandahar Hijack, limited series. From the Netflix Global Top 10 list of September 2nd to September 8th, 2024. Weekly list of the most viewed films, in English. Rebel Ridge. The Deliverance. Tokunb. The Union. Dead Sea. Incoming. Sonic the Hedgehog. Weekly list of the most viewed films, non-English. UN, Lucky Sisters. Sheriff. Narco Integrity. Disco, Ibiza, Locomia. Menjelang Ajal. Spotify Weekly Top Songs Global. From the Friday, September 6th to Thursday, September 12th, 2024. Die With a Smile, Lady Gaga, Bruno Mars. Birds of a Feather, Billie Eilish. Taste, Sabrina Carpenter. Who, Jimin. Espresso, Sabrina Carpenter. The Emptiness Machine, Linkin Park. Please Please Please, Sabrina Carpenter. Sciantes T. Hubiera Conocido, Carol G. Good Luck, Babe. Chapel Roan.
Top hits on Apple Music 13, September 2024. Not Like Us, Kendrick Lamar. Die With a Smile, Lady Gaga and Bruno Mars. Taste, Sabrina Carpenter. Please Please Please, Sabrina Carpenter.
Espresso, Sabrina Carpenter.
Birds of a Feather, Billie Eilish.
Number 1 hit and more. YouTube Music Charts, Global Top Songs August 30th to September 5th, 2024. Age Ki Rat, Madhubanti Bakchi, Divya. Sciantes T. Hubiera Conocido, Carol G. A. Nye, Amitabh Bhattacharya. Die With a Smile, Lady Gaga and Bruno Mars. Bye Bye Bye, Insing. Garter Only, Floy Mena and Chris MJ Crazy, L.E. Seraphim. Alibi, Savdalizer, Pablo Vittar and Usult. Espresso, Sabrina Carpenter. Big Dogs, Hannah Mankind and Kami.
Crypto, streaming, tech and more. Daily News Digest, 13. September 2024.